So I often coach couples who have a complaint, who have a grief point, who have a pain point that says the person that I said I do to is not the person that I met. And usually the reason why the person that you're currently with is not the person that you met is because you when you were dating, you were speed dating and you committed too quickly, which is why I always encourage people that when you're dating, date for at least 4 seasons. Because in each season, you'll learn something new about the person that you're dating, and that becomes more data that you're actually gathering about the person to determine whether or not you want to continue doing this. And when you date people for at least 4 seasons, you have an opportunity to see how they respond to conflict and pressure. See, when conflict arises and when pressure comes, then you begin to see who a person really is. Because here is a truth. When you date someone, within the first 4 months to 7 months, you got their representative. And many times we're putting our best foot forward and we want to say yes and we want to buy flowers and we want to cook and we want to be the best person that you've ever dated before. Here's the deal. We don't do it to be deceptive. Some people do. But a person can't keep the mask on for long. They can't keep their representative hired. So this is why you date people for an extended period of time so that you can begin to learn who they are. You want to learn how they respond to conflict. You want to learn their environment. You want to learn their friend circles, because many times you will learn a lot about a person, about the people they surround themselves with, because it can say this is who they are trying to be. Or there's times when you need to learn why is it that you don't have friends, because that can be a pain point. You'll build a relationship with someone, and because they don't have any friends to pour into them and to give them wisdom, or the other way around, they'll build their life around you. This is why that when you're dating people, you have to be sober. You can't idealize them and you can't demonize them, meaning that everything they do, you can't just make this is the person of my dreams. And then what you're really doing is you're taking what you like about them here, what you like about them here, and you build your own bride of Frankenstein. Or you build your own Frankenstein, and that is just not realistic. Only to get married to them, only to make a commitment to them, and then realize, oh, I didn't recognize that red flag because I didn't want to see it. You don't idealize them and try not to demonize them. That means that stop looking for red flags just to see that's a red flag, that's a red flag, that's a red flag. I don't like how they dress, that's a red flag. I don't like the shoes that they wear, that's a red flag. Just try when you date people to be as sober as possible. You want to be sober when you're dating people. You want to see how they respond to conflict. You want to learn their personality. Why their personality? Because personality is comprised of your history, your past. Your personality is made up of your experiences in life. Your personality reveals your world view, how you see people, how you see the world. And so your personality also reveals a lot about your family, cycles, patterns, curses, or not. This is why that you want to pay attention to a personality of a person and whether or not your personality and their personality actually can coexist. And you don't learn a personality when you first meet someone. It takes time. You learn their personality, you learn their vision. Why do you learn their vision? Because someone can love your heart and hate your calling. Meaning they can love you, they can love everything about your looks, they love everything about where you come from, but they may not embrace fully what God has called you and created you to do. Because what you've been called to do will be revealed by the decisions that you have to make. You get up early in the morning, you have to go to certain places, you have to do certain things because this is what my calling is. And what you'll discover is people get married because they love a person. Yeah, love will not make a marriage thrive, not love alone. That's why you want to make sure, do you understand what I'm called and created to do? Do you understand what God has called me to do? Because that requires maybe late nights, or that requires early mornings, or that requires for me to have to take a step back and to go to these places and to do these specific things. And if you don't take the time to allow someone to see your calling, to have the opportunity to embrace your calling, then you will enter into a marriage and experience more friction around the place and the things that God has called you to do all because you loved a person. Someone can love your heart, but hate and not embrace what you've been called to do. And when we speed date, commit quickly, we end up divorcing often because we weren't sober and we didn't take our time. We were racing against the clock when we were meeting someone, and we wanted to have a family. We wanted to compare ourselves to other people. This is why many times the complaint and the pain point is the person that I married is not the person that I fell in love with. It's probably because you fell in love with their representative.